How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a wonderful day. For today's video, I'm starting the year off nicely. I'm going to give out a free big room drop FLP. It's a nice gesture to start the year off right. So I'm going to be making a simple big room drop in the style of KEVU, Jackson Vegas, SaberZ, something along those lines, and I'll be giving the FLP out. You can download it as the pinned comment. It's also in the description. It's a free download, a mega link, so hope you enjoy that. So let's get straight into this. I hope you enjoy, and let's go. So to start with, we've used 3 layers for the big room kick. We are working in the key of E, so we've got a simple punch. We have a sub layer. It's key to note that we've taken out the high end, because if I don't, it's kind of nice that we make our own tonal layer with an extra layer of that. So we take off the high end. And then we add 2 kick starts with the same 3 punch preset to get rid of the click. And I've also turned the mode to generic, taken off the first part, because if I don't, you'll hear the click. Just want to make sure so it doesn't interfere with the punch kick. So now it sounds like this. Pretty nice sounding kick. And then we have an extra layer, which is a tonal layer. Use the exact same sidechain, except instead of taking the high end out, we take the low end out, so it doesn't interfere with the sub. So now all together, the 3 layers sound like this. At the end of the FLP, we'll do some small little pitch kicks to make some small little details and give it a bit more energy with the pitch kicks. It also go well with the melody. So now we're going to move on to the drums to fill up the drop a bit more with white noise claps and toms, give it a bit more rhythm and groove. So yeah, let's move on to that. So I've come up with some pretty basic layers. I've tried to keep it quite simple since the drop melody is going to carry the main thing. I just wanted these drums to support the drop. So we've got some basic claps here. Some basic toms and snares, you've heard this one before. Every big room song ever. A simple cashmere snare doubled. And then we have some 2 very good fills here. I use Splice to grab a Tom and Jane fill. It sounds like this. Very nice. And then we have a SaberZ drop fill. That carries the most energy throughout the pre-drop. Them 2 together sound very nice. And then to end it off with a simple Nicky Romero bit crush tom. Pitch down into the key of E. It was originally like this. That was too hard, so I just picked it down an octave. And now they all sound like this. One thing I'd like to point out as well is these claps, I've added an LFO tool on them, just because if I was to turn it off, the reverb tail is incredibly long. If I was to play it with the kick, it may clash with a drop lead, so just to make sure I added an LFO tool and I just curved it downwards and it now sounds like this. Just cleans the claps up a bit more, makes the reverb shut off instead of continuously going on, just in case it creates any error in the drop leads, conflicting with the drop leads at all, just to make sure. So now overall it sounds like this. So now we can move on to the bit we've all been waiting for, which is the drop lead. So let's see what I can come up with. So for the drop layer here, we have 4 layers and a reverb carrier as classic as always. First lead sounds like this. This is the actual drop melody itself. This is the main lead. Lead 2 is actually from the Blasterjaxx Splice sound pack. I think it's in collaboration with Spinning Records. It's just a regular one shot. And now it sounds like this. Lead 3 is from Silent as well. It's called SaberZ Lead 5. And lead 4 is called Aggro Saw. It's just a really aggressive saw. Very nice sound. And then of course we have a reverb carry. Standard as before, Fruity Peak controller linking it to the reverb on the mix chain. And now all 4 of them sound like this. We've done a SaberZ technique with the reverb where we create an automation clip of the wet and then it goes up when there's gaps between notes. But it just creates a nice suction effect. It sounds like this. Gives it a nice effect. Next we're going to move on to drop stabs and some extra ear candy and then finish off with the effects. So let's move on to the drop stabs. So I've added a few extra details to the track. I've added a little chord fill here in the second 8 bars. I've added a few drop stabs to hit on certain accents throughout the drop. These just fill up certain gaps between the melody. So the first one sounds like this. It's a combination between 2 SaberZ stabs. The next one is just a simple revealed drop stab. and then these just repeat throughout. So these just counteract with the drop melody. It's like a call and response. So they sound very nice. And then the second thing I added was this chord fill here. This just splits up the drop melody, gives a small variation, gives a nice cool effect. That sounds like this. So this is just one simple silent layer called New Year Chords. I linked it to the same bus as the drop leads, and then I just added a sound gradizer and took off quite a lot of low end. Playing simple chords is just a D and an F sharp and an E and a G. Since the track has a massive reverb and the drop lead is powerful when hitting, we don't need that much white noise and effects, because otherwise if you use too much it could overpower the drop and make it a bit too messy. So I think all you'd really need is just a simple crowd noise and a down sweep of white noise, maybe a few sweeps for transition, and other than that, that would fill the drop up. So now we're going to end up with some simple drop effects and then we can end the video. So I've kept the effects very basic. I've just got a simple exhaust white noise and then a crowd atmos. And what we have done, we have cut off the first beat, otherwise it will interfere with the kick. I want the kick to be completely clean here. And then it crashes in on the second beat, makes a nice effect. I've also done it again at the end of the 4 bars. We've cut it off so the snare is completely empty on its own. So if I mute the drop melody, you'll hear the effect it has. Just gives a nice accent, gives more detail to the kick. Without further ado, this is the final result. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go. And that is the final result. So I hope you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I hope you learned something. If you're new here, subscribe. I've got new videos coming every Wednesday and Saturday, so be on the lookout for them. I have a new part of my progressive house from start to finish coming next week. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, produce music, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.